You're praying for a new life. You're suffocating, you know you'll never live. Bleeding on the inside. Bleeding on the inside. You're praying for a new life. You're suffocating.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Maestro's Classic ARCA series. Excited to have you here today. My name is James Riles. With me in the booth is Tanner Now. Tanner, how's it going today, sir?
It is going awesome, James.
So we're at the Milwaukee Mile. It's a blast. I've heard this is the oldest track in NASCAR. So we should have a blast here going down memory lane. Let's go ahead and knock out. Alex Brown has the pole position. So let's go ahead and run through the grid. Of course, we've got Alex Brown there in first. Dennis Weeks in second. Raul Alves in third. DJ DeBlasi in fourth. Ed Morris fifth. Sebastian Taylor sixth. Seventh, Matthew Greathouse. Eighth, David Elliott. Ninth, Jason Brewer. 10th, Chaston Teets. Jeremy Knapp is going to be in 11th. 12th is Bill Hull. 13th, Brian Wasserman. Robert Colgan sitting in 14th. Colgan. And then Rob Rogers, 15th. Justin Lipke, 16th. 17th, Kevin Franks. Ed Morris Sr.'s coming in 19th. And rounding out the field is Corey Danielson. As we timed it just perfect. Pace cars coming off. We are going racing, folks. Alex Brown going to bring us around for the first time here at the Milwaukee Mile, the oldest track in NASCAR for the Maestro's Classic ARCA Series. Let's get going here, Tanner.
Yeah, James, I just wanted to give a quick rundown of our race day info here. 140 laps. Looks like 3 additional sets of tires and 75% fuel, which approximately is about 60 to 70 laps on a run, James.
Whoa, hitting us with the classified info. We've got a good race already starting here. So, yeah, looking like a two-stopper. So we might see some short pits as we're seeing just how interesting this flat track is with how it's shaping up. Really no battle until we get back to about 7th, and we see Matt Greathouse and Sebastian Taylor going after each other. Now Jason Brewer going to try and get in the mix. Low line dominant track, but there's a lot of real estate there that you can get, and this it's not a half mile. Tanner, tell us a little bit about this track.
Yeah, so this track, if you're giving just a second, it is a 1 mile track, but it's considered a short track with the hard braking zones and the very, very sensitive throttle input that is required to come out of these corners without being sideways. It classifies as a short track there, James.
Yeah, definitely, because it is, like you said, this low banking, really tight turns. As we're going to throw the track map up and show you. Just a very classic oval. Symmetrical. It's not anything wild that is going to really need to like get in a groove and change it up, such as, you know, like the Darlington or anything like that. So these turns, very symmetrical, able to do that, able to be a little bit better with just getting in your zone. That's what you have to do at races like this. As we see, this is really where the battle is going on. But Alex Brown up front has Raul Alves right up next to him. Raul, the winner at Watkins Glen, putting it to the 67 of Alex Brown here in the Maestro's Classic ARCA Series.
Yeah, we're already seeing Raul and Alex Brown both sliding out of the corner there. As we heard in pre-race talks here with the drivers down on pit road before they hopped in their virtual cars, that you're gonna be very, very sketchy out of the corner. You're either gonna hit the wall or spin to the inside. So throttle control here. Throttle control, James. I cannot say it enough. May I repeat, throttle control is key.
Yeah, definitely, and that's with any flat track, especially because as you say, with these cars so fast, so much horsepower, we're gonna start seeing people get a little bit squirrely off the edge, and all that rubber, all these marbles, everything on this track is gonna get washed up a little bit higher. So once you get those tires in the marbles, you're gonna start seeing these guys lose it very quickly. As Alex Brown is sticking with, or Raul Alves, however, is really sticking with Alex Brown, our leader. As Alex goes a little bit high there, Raul's going to get to the bottom. We'll see if anything's doing here. Now he's going to get it back.
Alex Brown able to clear him, able to keep his momentum up in turns 1 and 2, clears him going into 3 and 4, has a car length out of 4. What a job that was on lap 7 for Alex Brown.
Yeah, a little bit of, might have been some bump and run contact there that Raul gave it back to him, but now he's going to dive to that inside, see what he can do.
Yeah, you see he's out of that dark surface, that rubber. He is actually out of the racing groove. But like you said earlier at the beginning of this race, you have so much real estate on that outside. It's all about, can you keep up momentum without losing the track position, or excuse me, the track location. The further you go up, the further away you become from the person on the inside. So therefore it creates a sort of shortcut whenever they're still in the racing groove.
Definitely. Looking back, we have Raul has completed that pass. Alex Brown in second. Dennis Weeks in third. Trying to hold off Ed Morris and TJ DeBlasi as they are working in this little 5 group. A lot of cars grouped together here. 6, Sebastian Taylor trying to make a move on the inside of TJ DeBlasi. We'll see what he has. Almost in the grass there. Getting a big run on TJ. He's going to try to come up, get a little bit of side draft through these long straights and get down. That's going to open the door for Jason Brewer. Jason going to back out of that. He doesn't want nothing to do with it, but TJ, he's not going to give it up yet. Here he goes to the back bumper of Sebastian Taylor for 5th place.
Yeah, Taylor able to throttle up and drive out of there and leave TJ DeBlasi in his dust. Gets about a 3-car length gap in turns 3 and 4. TJ says not today and closes it back down to a car length. Out of turn 4 we go. Jason Brewer is about 3/10 back from Sebastian Taylor now.
Here we go. We talk about the length of the race, folks. 11 laps ticked off of 140. Taking about 30 seconds per lap, so a little bit longer race than these guys are used to in the ARCA cars. Wonder if that's going to play into the fact they're going to have any fatigue there, as Dennis Weeks trying to look at Alex Brown falling back. Maybe that lead did not manage his tires as well as he needed to. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Ed Morris trying to take it to Dennis Weeks. They're in third. But as I'm looking through the field here, I'm not seeing too many movers. Everybody really having to be very careful, methodical, as Robert Colgan, which I'll go ahead and go over the red broadcast. You were right. It's Colgan. My information was incorrect. But he's up 3 positions in that 94 car. And that's our biggest mover of the night, is 3 positions so far.
Yeah, and James, I'm not going to make you feel too bad about it. Thank you for admitting that on broadcast. But hey, we're going to move on here and talk about what you just said. This flat track not allowing hardly anybody to pass. About the only way that you're going to pass is to drop the tires off of these high horsepower machines. So with having to drop the tires off of them, you're going to see more fall off in the end. And I'd hate to say that these people that we see moving up right now are going to be the ones that are struggling right before we have to pit.
Yeah, and especially those that were, when you dive it down low, we were heard throughout our interviews with the drivers here that the thing that's really going to get people is overdriving into that turn. You've got a lot of space to come off of it, but if you try and overdrive into the turns 1 and 3, you're going to burn up your front right tire, which is really bad. Once that gets heat up, it wears much, much quicker. So the key is just to be smooth in, smooth out with the throttle, and really be careful not to overheat that right tire, trying to make a pass, trying to push for something that isn't there.
Yeah, it's all about the limit of grip here. Raul Alves and Alex Brown, class of the field tonight. are showing us exactly what it means to push it to the limit. As both of them almost tagged the outside wall coming out of 2, their back ends sway out and barely get within a few inches of the outside wall. As we go into turns 3 and 4, out of 4, Raul is still about a car length gap, but he is running about a lane lower than Alex Brown in the apex of the corners. Alex Brown sliding up the track here in the middle of the turn. Raul going to take advantage of that, get another car length. It's about a 0.2 of a second gap at the start finish line, coming to lap 17 of 140.
Yeah, and you see that there's 2 dark portions. You can see the first one, which is where they've had to repave the track because it gets used so much. That's key to you sim racers out there. If the track is repaved, it means it's the best line. But you also see that rubber, that gray area in between where that rubber's kind of sliding up with all the drivers driving up there. As Raul Alves is going to get passed on the inside by Alex Brown. Not a good launch off there. It's a drag race to the line. Give it to Alex Brown for now as they head into turn 1. But what I'm saying is that line's going to kind of drift up. You're going to find more grip in the midline the more that these tires wear down and put rubber down. So that was a slick pass by Alex Brown, taking back the number 1 position. But behind him, Ed Morris has been chugging. He's up 2 positions. Of course,
Yeah, Ed Morris, at the beginning of this race, said that he had no experience at this track. And James, let me tell you, I would have thought way farther away from that. I would have thought that he runs here just about every week from the way he's going. He's only 2 seconds off the pace of the leaders. He is 3rd out of 19 drivers, and he just bought this track.
yeah, and that just goes to show you a lot of these guys have different mindsets, different disciplines that they're good at. You have super speedway drivers, short tracks. This is really for those guys that like the 1.5s, but can use the brake pedal. And that's what this is, because you get the long runs. And then we saw Ed Morris do really well at the road course as well. So for him to be able to come out here and really get that braking point in these ARCA cars, it's so important to be patient with the throttle. And that's what we're seeing from him. Is we got a little 3-way battle going on here. Sebastian Taylor, DJ DeBlasi, and Jason Brewer following Dennis Weeks. Been trading positions the whole race. We see the 304 of Jason Brewer, 34, I'm sorry, trying to work on the inside of Sebastian Taylor.
Yeah, these 3 have been arranging order the whole race, James, as they have caught the 97 of Dennis Weeks for 4th place. Sebastian Taylor almost bump and run the 97, gonna lay low and fall in line coming off the corner.
Yeah, it's a little bit early to be making enemies. I think everybody knows that. Still got a couple pit cycles to go through. Everybody needs to just stay calm. They know what they have to do. They know the assignment. Come out here, make it to the end. But it's hard to be stuck behind somebody. Especially if you have that short track mentality where, hey, I got to get by this guy or I'm going to get lapped. That's what's special about the Milwaukee Mile. It's a mile long, 30-second laps. You don't really have to worry about getting lapped in the first 20 or 30 laps. You know, you can make your laps back really easily. You can be a lot more methodical with your passes and try and learn as you go for some of these guys like Ed Morris, who just bought the track.
Yeah, and he's picking up his pace just a tad bit there. He was only a 10th off of our leaders, who ran a 31.65. He ran a 31.7, but I'll tell you who's faster than our leaders right now. The 27 of Sebastian Taylor is about 200s faster than our lead pack.
Yeah, and if you look at his best time so far, the best time, and of course I apologize if I had the, there we go, best time. It is gonna be, his is a little bit slower. So he's been a little bit slower overall, but his last time, like you said, was a little bit quicker. So maybe seeing all that tire wear, he's been saving a little bit, being real methodical. Going to see that pay dividends later on in the race. He's currently getting passed by TJ DeBlasi.
Yeah, TJ to the inside of the 27, out of turn 4 they go. TJ gets a full car length. Jason Brewer going to take a look at the inside. No, he is not at the start-finish line. He falls back in line, then dive bombs into turn 1. Heavy braking zone. He lets off the brake just a little bit. Slides up the track, almost takes out the 27 in the process.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Once you start going down low to make the pass, you start heating up those tires a little bit more than usual, you're going to start losing grip. 27 doesn't want nothing to do with it. He's going to back out of it and let Jason Brewer have that position. But I was watching Bill Hull a little bit earlier. Bill passing Brian Wasserman. Brian Wasserman, Robert Colgan, another one that are having some quick lap times. They're going to catch Matt Greathouse here in a short bit if they keep it up. About 0.3 faster than the 4 cars in front of them. So maybe a little bit of save train going on back here in 10th as well. And this is a good time to remind you guys, hey, we're live both on Facebook and YouTube at Esports Broadcasting Network. You can just Google us or search us on YouTube or Facebook. We got both of those things rolling for you. Let us know who you're chatting, who you're trying to see some more of. That's what we do for you guys. If you guys shout out your love for a driver, we'll go ahead and give them some more screen time. Also, if you can, it doesn't cost you nothing. Go ahead and subscribe over on YouTube and give us a like on the thing. That helps us out a lot here at Esports Broadcasting Network to be able to bring you amazing racing like this here at the Xtreme ARCA Series, brought to you by Maestro's Classic.
Yeah, what do you say, James, here in the next 2 laps or so, we throw that to a commercial?
Yeah, let's do it. We're not going to miss some action. We're going to go ahead and give you guys, we'll give it about 5 laps, and then we'll keep the racing going for a little bit longer. As Bill Hull popping off another one. He's got David Elliott in the rear view mirror. As that whole group of cars, Bill Hull, Brian Rossman, and Robert Colgan, catching the cars that kind of may have burnt their stuff up.
Tire management coming into play here. Bill Hull up 3 positions from where he started, and somebody that is picking off whoever Bill Hull passes, Brian Wasserman passes. He is also up 3 positions, right on the tail he is. As we have a battle right there, the 77 of Brian Wasserman, as I was just speaking. And then here goes Bill Hull trying to pick off, is that Matthew Greathouse?
That is Matt Greathouse, currently in 8th position. Getting worked on by Bill Hull. As we see a little teamwork going on here that I just noticed. That's going to be Robert Colgan is teammates with Matt Greathouse. So we'll see how that goes. But the Bill Hull seems to be... Just had it and I missed it. Not in there, but I did see a couple teammates working together. As you wouldn't expect it from here, but you can definitely, it's good to have your teammates around so you can get in a groove and really start running this thing. As we go back up front, Alex Brown has taken it away. He's actually just lapped Ed Morris Sr. That lap car, Raul Alves, that battle he had really coming back to bite him there, as he is 2.5 seconds back. TJ DeBlasi, this group still working together. Bill Hull just got passed by Brian Washington. Whoa, we're 2 door-to-door out of 3 and 4 here. As this is some exciting racing we just stumbled upon. Brian Washington, Matt Greathouse, Robert Colgan, and Bill Hull all mixing up.
Yeah, 5-car pack that is here at a 1-mile track. That means they're taking up about a second from front to back in this pack here. Oh, the 51 almost smacks the wall. The 77 gets about a 3-car advantage now as the 51's holding up his teammates of Robert Colgan.
Yeah, at this short track package, those ARCA cars can, if you get in the wall, you're not going to hurt yourself too bad. You might be able to, you'll scrub a little bit of speed, but you got to think we're going to start seeing some stripes from the Milwaukee Mile showing up on some of these cars that have really been pushing in the second half of this run. As I'm just amazed day in and day out of what these guys can do in these long green flag runs we have in the ARCA cars. Not really usual. So if you're looking for a great league that has a lot of history, this is excellent group of guys in their 11th season on iRacing. So these guys have been racing together for a while, always looking for new drivers. If you've got the snuff to handle what they can lay down, I mean, I can't think of a better way to cut your teeth than to getting in a good ARCA series that really respects good driving. I'll get those stats for you and the points, or I'll farm that out to you to have ready for us in a while to get all the points and go over all the bonuses. As Dennis Weeks, Jason Brewer and Dennis Weeks still fighting each other, still throwing blows here for 5th position.
Yeah, for 5th position, Jason Brewer is our third hardest charger. We have a two-way tie for our first hardest charger, but Jason Brewer worked his way all the way inside the top 5. He started in 9th position. He is hunting down Dennis Weeks as Raul Alves is down pit road.
Yeah, Raul probably going for the short pit here as we're seeing about a 1.5 second gap. You got to think that's going to make people start coming in. We've been told this is a 2-stopper, but with a 2nd gap, you might think this is a 3-stopper for tires.
Yeah, I don't understand the logic here, but hey, he's shooting for it. Raul has a different plan than everybody else. As Jason Brewer passes Dennis Weeks for 3rd position, he's now up 6 positions. He is tied for a 3-way tie for our hardest charger. 6 positions. Jason Brewer just took over 3rd position.
Yeah, and those other two are Brian Washman and Robert Colgan. They've got a while to go till they get to TJ DeBlasi, but they've worked their way to the front of this. I guess this would be the 3rd pack. But yeah, Raul coming in a little bit early there, possibly seeing himself shaking on lap times. And here's the thing about Raul. He's had some trouble with points in the first 3 races, got taken out, a little bit of mechanical issues on his own part, and then getting involved in some accidents. But he won last week at Watkins Glen. So Raul can get out there and gamble and try and make it a 3-stop race if he really wants to. He's got nothing to lose. He's locked into the playoffs. It's a win and you're in situation. So he can make these mistakes. He can take these gambles, and we'll see once the lap times come in. 30.68, a second faster than our leader, 2 seconds faster than our leader. We'll see if that pays off for Raul.
And he was able to stay on the lead lap. If my relative is correct, he's about 30 seconds behind our leader. So he was within a second or so from being lapped, and here he is pulling a gap on our leader now.
Yeah, spent about 34 seconds down pit road. Short pit road here. Really easy. You're in and you're out. He took 4 tires there, lap 35. So I bet everybody else is write that down. It's pretty quick down pit road here. So we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break for you guys. We're gonna give them the full screen, and then we'll go side by side for the next one as the racing has pretty much sorted itself out. Dennis Weeks right there, but we're going to work on some camera angles, and be sure and stick around. We will be right back here momentarily here on Esports Broadcasting Network.
You know that guy? Just finished.
Fix that. We had a little bit of issues on our part. Here we go.
Changing the face of the world doesn't happen overnight. It takes a strong group like no other, each containing unique characteristics, ones that inspire change and progress. To be a maestro is to lead, to inspire, and to create, helping shape both communities and industries. Changing the face of the world doesn't happen alone. It happens with strong leaders, ones that defy all odds. The first generation of barber maestros helped create the movement. The second will define it.
All right, folks, we are back here, lap 45 of the Maestro's Classic ARCA Series. Not too much of a shakeup going on, but Jason Brewer has made it up to second place, up 7 positions. That's our biggest move. We'll go ahead and go back to that pass on the replay.
Yeah, on the inside, Jason Brewer takes it. Ed Morris here. We see he's on the outside. He's able to throttle up. It doesn't look like it's enough to hold off the deep dive of Jason Brewer. Jason Brewer slid up the track and almost cut Ed Morris off.
A little bit of a slide job there. Yeah, it was. It's real. Going back live here, Jason is able to keep that position, but he's brought with him pretty much on his own for running quick. He's still running 32s with our leader, so one of the fastest cars on the track, other than, of course, Raul Alves, who has made up half a lap, up to 16th position right now on the short pit. And Ed Morris coming down pit road.
Yeah, Ed will be our second driver down pit road. That was in the top 3, so he is the second driver in the top 3. Looks like we had a few more drivers come down pit road. Excuse me, no, he's the second in the field. Only followed by Raul Alves. So, James, that is very interesting.
It is. We're going to see when he comes out. He's going to be a little bit slower than Raul on the pit stop because he was a little bit farther back. He's going to lose his lap. As it's a tricky exit here. You got to go all the way around the turn on the inside without any banking and then merge successfully. So we'll see if he's able to do that in front of Jason Brewer. As he's not gonna waste too much time. He's gonna be very quick here to try and catch Alex Brown. As Alex is in a league of his own, there's no reason for him to come down pit road. He's 8.5 seconds up, coming to try and split this thing. It's still a 2-stop race, so he's gonna come in probably, I'd bet, a lap 50 or 60 to get a service, a little Goodyear tire change, and make something happen with that 67. But yeah, Chaston Teets coming in. We're going to start seeing them, folks. We're going to start seeing these guys come in. TJ DeBlasi has got Brian Washman. Let's see here. Yeah, he's trying to get Dennis Weeks in the 97. There we go.
Yeah, Alex Brown down pit road, our leader down pit road. As we saw, Raul Alves was about 20 seconds away from Alex when he went in. So he gained approximately 10 seconds. So Raul, once this is all said and done, should be our leader for a couple of laps once all the pit cycles have went all the way through.
Yeah, we got a whole mess of them. Alex Brown, David Elliott, Matt Greathouse, all deciding to come in. That's going to give the lead to Jason Brewer with Sebastian Taylor right on his tail. An important thing to note, though, with Raul is he came in about 15 laps earlier, so he's going to have some trouble stretching that out. As now Jason Brewer's going to come in. Yeah, everybody's going to start coming in now. You can't survive on a short pit when it's about 2 seconds faster than your best time.
Yeah, and the question I was having, can anybody stretch it out and make it a two-stop race? As we're on 51 out of 140, doesn't look like some drivers are going to do that. As Raul Alves and Ed Morris were the first to come down, so they'll be the first ones to pit here once it's all said and done. But this is amazing. This is the opposite of what I thought. I thought drivers were going to save, but here they are shortcutting it.
Yeah, it definitely is. As once somebody in the top 5 comes in, where it's about that 2-stop window, there's really not much you can do. You got to change your strategy. You got to adapt to those around you. Uh, and that's what we're seeing, as Alex Brown and Ed Morris are the only ones not to go a lap down with that strategy. So definitely something to keep an eye on here is how long is Sebastian Taylor going to stretch this out. I know we talked pre-race and he said, about 60, a couple of guys said about 60 laps, but they don't have to tell us the truth. They can maybe try and split this thing up to a two-stopper, but they got to make it to 70 laps, and Alex Brown is already only 20 seconds away. So I think we're not gonna see that pay off, and with the way these guys are driving, we're not gonna see too many cautions either. So you really got to make your decisions very quickly on whether or not you're willing to give Ed Morris and Alex Brown that advantage on the pits, as Alex has just passed Justin Lemke like he was standing still on those old tires.
Yeah, fresh rubber versus 54 lap old rubber. It's about like giving a kid an energy drink and telling an old dude to stand up with his walker and walk to the other side of the house. That is totally different. So that's what we're experiencing here. As we're looking at Brian Wasserman, Robert Colgan, and Bill Hull within 2/10 of each other. A three-car battle here. Colgan on the outside of Wasserman. He is going to have the advantage. Throttle up. Going to keep the car straight. On exit. Wasserman is under attack by Raul Alves. He is going to be the leader once this is all said and done. He's now down to 9 seconds to Sebastian Taylor, who is our leader. Raul passing these cars like they're sitting still. It's the 42 of David Elliott, if I remember correctly. Yes, he has brand new tires.
That's going to be enough to bring Brian Wasserman in, as he called out, hey, I'm pitting. I don't want nothing to do with this. As the next closest battle, Raul trying to make a move on, I believe that's Robert Colgan in the 94 Colgan Enterprises machine with the, who is that down there? Is that David Elliott? Yep, David Elliott on fresh tires, trying to work on these guys to put himself in a position to make something happen. As Raul's still about 8 seconds away from Sebastian Taylor, but he does have those fresher tires. I bet he's about to reach his peak, though. Raul is running 31s as opposed to those guys who just pitted, who are running a little bit quicker. Alex Brown working on Kevin Franks right now. Man, this is going to be a strategy game. It's a very cerebral race we're going to have here.
Yeah, Alex Brown looking to go to the inside of Kevin Franks. Dive bomb into turns 3 and 4. Kevin Franks going to back out of it. Alexander Brown able to power through and move on.
There you go. Not sure what's going on with my live timing. I'll go ahead and go back to the tower there. Looks like my, there we go. There we go. We're good to go. We'll just go to the tower, though. SDK has been having issues with me recently on the scoring, so do apologize for that. But again, guys, if you are watching live, we appreciate the heck out of you for doing so on this Xtreme ARCA series brought to you by Maestro's Classic. Go ahead and let us know who you're rooting for. We like to give those guys a little bit of extra screen time as a bonus for you guys shouting us out. Just give us a number in the chat or shout out their name, as well as giving us a like. We really appreciate it. Helps us bring you this racing to the caliber that we expect to. As Robert Colgan has not pitted yet, and he is hemorrhaging positions to these guys that have. Alex Brown's only about 3 seconds back. As Bill Hull, this battling's really going to hurt them if they're going to be trying to stretch it to that lap 70 and turn it into a two-stopper.
They need to take very, very good care of their tires here. They are unable to do that with all those fresh tires coming through. It looks like the 51 of Great House and 77 of Wasserman are the freshest tires right now. They are right behind him. Corey Danielson came off track a lap or two ago. That's interesting. He's 19th place, scored about, 2 laps down?
Yes, I believe so. 2 laps down from our leaders as we come to it here. As that's Robert and Bill Hull behind him. Oh, almost chopped the nose off of Bill Hull there. We got Alex Brown coming on the outside using those fresh tires. And that's what you want to make him do. You want to make him use up everything he's got. You don't want to battle him too hard because that's a good way to get sent. But you definitely don't want to make him have it easy. You want him to use those tires. So we're 3 wide here. Bill Hull, I believe, was in the middle of that. As Alex Brown was trying to get by, he's having a heck of a time.
Yeah, you know who wasn't having a heck of a time getting by these cars? It was the 50 of Raul Alves. So Raul is smiling right now, seeing the 67 struggle with these lap cars. Bill Hull still has pretty good pace with those 62 lap hole tires, but he is holding up our previous leader of Alex Brown.
Yeah, Alex having a real big issue with these guys as he's going to get by Bill Hull here pretty easily now, as Bill's kind of throwing the white flag saying, all right, you know what, you go ahead, I surrender this position, as Robert Colgan, though, is not going to be as easy a pass. Himself and Wasserman up there, they're going to give these guys as much trouble as they can, as if you made it to lap 63, I got to imagine you're not even looking down pit road until lap 69 or 79.
Yeah, about 70, 71 is where I'd like to be there, James. I know I missed your number, but Alex Brown almost giving the bumper to 94 Robert Colgan coming across the start-finish line here. About a car length separates them. Now 2 car lengths. Huge run here by the 67. Not going to make up any ground, though. That is unfortunate for Alex Brown, as he did pit earlier.
Yeah, definitely. And just to clarify, these aren't lap cars. These guys are racing for position. Robert Colgan just did not come down pit road yet, and Alex Brown was finally able to make a move and get by him. And that's what Robert wanted to see, because that's who he's fighting. He's fighting Alex Brown because Raul's got to come in a couple more times. But that's exactly what he wants to see. He now knows that Alex Brown has to come in one more time. And if he can stretch it to 70, that's going to be the play. And, we talk about that like it's a done deal. Sebastian Taylor, Dennis Weeks, and TJ DeBlasi are on the same strategy. So we focused on Robert Colgan, but look at Sebastian Taylor. He has not pitted yet either. And he is still putting down some pretty good times in the low 32s. Able to, if we see this work, which, I mean, heck, it could. They're going to be sitting really pretty once this next pit road window opens up for these other guys, which is going to be about lap 110, 120.
Yeah, Sebastian Taylor only about 2 to 3 tenths slower than Raul here. As TJ coming down pit road, he just dove down. Lap 67 of 140, our third place car just came down. Raul Alves has the freshest tires here out of the top 3. He's now back up to third. He was in the lead for a little while, then lost it to Alex Brown. But Raul working his way back up as he's under attack. Who is he under attack by? Was that a lap car?
I believe it was David Elliott, who last came in lap 49. So Raul probably hitting that plateau where his tires are not doing as much for him, as David is a little bit quicker on the lap time here. As now Raul is seeing why that was such a gamble, as he's still going to hold him off, but now he's under attack. He's going to have to use up a little bit more of his stuff, as Brian Wasserman now coming in to give him a little trouble.
Yeah, trouble that is. Brian Wasserman has everything to gain, and Raul has everything to lose, so he's just going to let him by here. And there goes, is that the 42 of David Elliott as well on the inside of Raul. Raul just going to let him by. He needs to save his tires here. As we're taking a look at our leader, Sebastian Taylor, up 5 positions. He is currently on the back stretch of lap 68 or 69. So James, I'll let you take it away for the rest of this nice lap.
Yeah, taking it. He's going to be coming down pit road. We just called it out on the radio, so he's made it to his lap 70. That was his mark that he was trying to make. Oh, as he kind of slows down a bit there, as he's going to make it down pit road without any incident. Now Dennis Weeks is going to try and take it one more lap and get into the 71 area to just make sure that he's safe. But you got to think any issues, any yellow flags, these guys are going to be running on fumes near the end of it. As Dennis Weeks, I think that's Brian Wasserman behind him. Oh, no, too far back. That's a couple other guys. We got some more people coming down pit road. Sebastian Taylor and Bill Hull coming in for their first stop.
Yeah, they just made it to the halfway mark, so this is going to work out perfect. As Raul is back down pit road, am I reading that correctly or no?
Yeah, Raul Alves coming down pit road. He got back on cycle. He's going to be doing it now. He saw that those guys could stretch it out, so he's going to think, you know what, I'm going to come down pit road, make it a one-stop from here on out. He made up the time on Alex Brown. So a little bit, man, this is going to come down to the wire on strategy. Absolutely insane as Dennis Brown has got a couple cars behind him. Sebastian Taylor is going to try and work on him. Brian Wasserman, a couple other guys. Because they're going to make it hard for him to come down pit road.
Yeah, Sebastian Taylor dive bombs to the inside, gonna pass him. Guess who comes out sideways right beside Sebastian Taylor? That is Raul Alves, sideways, coming out pit road exit. He's gonna fall right in behind Dennis Weeks. Dennis Weeks to the inside here. Is he going down pit road, James?
You know what? My money's on that he is, as he called it out there. And that's what he is going to do. He's going to come down pit road, try and stretch this thing into two. That's the play. Now Alex Brown, lap 49 was his last pit stop. He is your de facto leader right now. He's got about an 8-second gap back to Ed Morris, who was on a similar strategy. And then, don't look now, but TJ DeBlasi in the lap 66, last pit of lap 66. So he might be able to stretch this out.
Yeah, exactly. All about strategy here. Alex Brown, 8 seconds up over Ed Morris. 9 seconds, excuse me. Gonna be very, very nerve-wracking if you're him to see if you can make it to the end or not. Which he pitted on lap 49, so we know for a fact he cannot make it to the end. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little longer look at our leader here, Alex Brown, as he is about to pass. Is at the 51 of Great House. Great House coming out of 4, under attack by our leader. It looks like Alex Brown is running about a half second faster, or a full second faster than Ed Morris. So Ed Morris falling back here. But this is where Ed Morris is going to be able to benefit, as Alex Brown catching lap traffic. We see Rob Rogers, that possibly around Jeremy Knapp, maybe. Kind of hard to tell here with the lap traffic. I see David Elliott's car involved up there. Great House going to lead a charge here. Alex Brown has nowhere to go. These are road obstacles here, as we have Justin Lemke going down pit road. He has scored his 4 laps down in 19th position. And caution is out. Looks like Kevin Franks and Ed Morris just wrecked. We were just talking about that battle here, as James has actually stepped away for a second. So if you'll give me just a moment, I'll figure out what just happened. Yes, I don't see where we went wrong at. Is we're waiting on James to get back here so we can take a look at this wreck. Alrighty, we had a caution while you were going there, James. Lap 77 of 140. Here we are under caution.
Oh, just looks like a hard send there by the 98 of, let's see. Let's get a little closer look before we call this. That was Kevin Franks on fresh tires, trying to make it to the inside of Ed Morris. Oh, very unfortunate there, as Ed Morris gonna have to come down pit road, as he was leading for not leading, but top 5 there for sure. Man,
he was in second place there, James, 9 seconds behind our leader. Sebastian Taylor at the time was our leader. It looks like Sebastian was able to come down pit road there at the time of the caution.
Yeah, that was just a hard send into the 7. Ooh, Very unfortunate there, as we are going to go back live. The big winner there, Raul Alves, able to, he's on pace to not make a stop, as these guys just stopped about 7 laps ago. Other than Alex Brown, Jason Brewer, everybody coming down pit road from about 4th back. So they can make it. Top 3 can make it. So everybody can make it from here on out. So I think we're going to see strategy play less of a factor until about lap 110 or 120, when people decide if it's worth it to try and come in, get some fresh tires, and take a short pit.
Yeah, these drivers that have one left in pit road, I would say take it. I mean, I'm not their crew chief or anything there, James, but fresh rubber here, just over the halfway mark. We're about 45% of the way from being done. We're approximately 55% completed this race. So going to be very, very nerve-wracking, like I mentioned earlier. Sebastian Taylor was in the lead, but he pitted, and now he is showing him in 2nd place. So that is a whole lot of lap cars up here in front of them.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be trying and getting their spots back. Robert Colgan, Jeremy Knapp, one of those that are going to be taking the wave rounds now. That's going to give Raul Alves and Sebastian Taylor the advantage, but behind them they got fresh tires coming up. Look for some fireworks here, because they're going to plateau here pretty soon, and then those faster cars are going to have a short window, very short window, to get up there, and try not to overwork the tires, as we talked about all day. Those tires are going to be super important. You can't push too hard here with 1 to go to green, because that's going to come back and bite you later on, and that's what these guys in the front are hoping for. Is we've got Sebastian Taylor, Raul Alves on the inside, door to door, coming out of 3 and 4. Tighten up the straps and get rolling, as that pace car, that Ford Fusion, is going to come down pit road, and Raul Alves has the button. As here we go, green flag is out. Raul not getting a great jump. Sebastian Taylor on his outside. It turns into a great jump. A little bit of a spin on the outside lane. That's going to be very unfortunate. Now Sebastian Taylor is going to try and work on the outside, as that spin really hurt the outside lane. Raul taking full advantage. He's off on his own for now.
Yeah, Alex Brown able to make the outside stick in the middle of 1 and 2 as he's taking on Sebastian Taylor here. Sebastian going to send her in. About 2 car length gap over Alex Brown for 3rd place. Here goes Raul Alves, like you just mentioned, followed by Dennis Weeks. Raul's starting to pull away.
Yeah, that's going to give him the opportunity to kind of cool down, as Dennis Weeks behind him has to deal with the cars that have fresh tires, as we saw on the last restart, which was the green flag restart. Very hard to make passes no matter what the skill differential is, as these guys still have the tire to get down and block that low line, as everybody's lined up all the way back. Nobody ready to pop out and make any moves yet. As, man, what a finish this is going to turn out to be, guys, in about 60 laps. It's going to be it's going to be hairy the whole way to it in the Maestro's Classic ARCA Series, as we already see people pushing. A little bit of too wide action back there. They're going to settle it out. I think that was a car getting loose. Matt Greathouse possibly S&T's getting a little bit loose there off the turn 2.
Yeah, Dennis Weeks closing in that gap of Raul, or maintaining the gap about a half second, but he's under attack from Sebastian Taylor. Dennis Weeks running on the just barely outside of the rubbered up section on the bottom, the brand new pavement. Alex Brown to the inside of Sebastian Taylor here on the backstretch. Into turn 3 he goes.
Unable to make it, as what we're going to start seeing. You were able to make that pass all day in the beginning of this race, but because that middle line has kind of rubbered up, it's a little bit harder to get that run off the bottom that you need, as this track has kind of cleaned itself up. All those marbles are moving high, and Alex Brown was the leader most of our race, unable to find anything on the bottom for the old tires of Sebastian Taylor.
Yeah, the racing group's going to change up versus newer old tires. As Sebastian Taylor loose out of turn 4, he's going to block Alex Alexander Brown on the inside into turn 1. Alex going to send it on the outside. Not going to have enough. He's going to run out of real estate there in turn 1. Wash up the track. Jason Brewer's gaining on him. Sebastian Taylor able to maintain his position there in third. He's on the inside now. Into turn 3 we go.
Yeah, what a development that these cars are able to hold off the quickness of Alex Brown that he's had all race, as Jason Brewer even going down to the apron there to try and find some real estate. Nothing doing there. Back behind him, Matt Greathouse trying to work on Chaston Teets. Oh, we got a car here just as we were watching it. Able to, barely tap that thing in the wall. Matt Greathouse. Wow, that was what we were watching. He was trying to go for a pass just at the same time that David Elliott was. Let's take a look at that. I'm sorry, that wasn't David Elliott. That was Brian Wasserman. Take one more look. Just nowhere for him to go. Here we go. Let's get on the right thing here. As he was trying to go for a pass, just was not clear. Gave the 51 a bump. What a save by the 8 of Chaston Teets. And what a good time to take a break here, folks, as everybody's going to kind of cycle out. Only a couple takers down pit road here. Sebastian Taylor, Brian Wasserman, Robert Colgan, Ed Morris, and Jeremy Knapp going to come down pit road, as we'll be right back, folks. All right, folks, we are back after our second caution of the night, as it's going to be a battle of old versus new tires, as Sebastian Taylor, Brian Wasserman, Jeremy Knapp, Robert Colgan, and Rob Rogers coming down pit road to get some fast tires. But track position has been so important, I'm not surprised that the top 5 didn't come in, Tanner.
Yeah, track position here is key, as we really didn't see a lot of movement at the beginning of this race. Raul Albus back where he started in this race. Top 3 is where he started. He is all the way up to first now. We saw him drive through the field on old tires, or on new tires, while the field had old tires. Are the roles reversed now? Does he get passed by somebody with new tires?
He's got a while to go. Back till 10th is the first on fresh tires, and Alex Brown has about 7 on him. As we come to the restart, we're going to see what he can do on that inside lane. I'll let you call this one out, Tanner.
Alrighty, as this pace car is going into turn 3, we got front row, the 50 of Raul Albus, 97 of Dennis Weeks, We are not going green this time, but lights on the pace car have been lit back up. I just got notified by my spotter. Don't know the reason. As we're going to take another lap around, James, if you want to take hold of that, I'll figure out what just happened.
Yeah, I believe we had a little bit of issue with a vehicle, a little bit of mechanical issue there. Going to bring out the lights back out on the pace car. Not sure. It probably might have been Brian Wasserman stuck. There he is. Yeah, Brian Wasserman unable to get that thing in there. It might have been a... oh, that's wheel damage. Tons of wheel damage on Brian Wasserman's vehicle. Unable to get that thing back straightened up. I think he's going to have to take get the NASCAR tow truck out there as a possible wheel malfunction going on with Brian Wasserman. Very unfortunate. He was having a really good race. Started 13th, but had thrown up. But we're going to get rolling here very soon. That's all that's going to do is help the guys on old tires. Get those tires back cooled down. The optimal temperature as we are going to be tightening up here. I think we're going to be one. Oh, no, pace car coming in. Raul Alves has the button. He's going to take it as that outside line gets a much better start this time around. Dennis Weeks able to get up high and arc into that corner the way he wants to. Alex Brown not getting the jump that he wanted. He's going to fall back to where he started in third. Jason Brewer in fourth with TJ DeBlasi on his rear. Going to make it into the turn here. As they've decided this is the time to start making moves. Track position so important. Let's get it rolling, folks.
Yeah, Raul out to a half a second. He's not playing. He's ready to rock and roll. Bill Hull is going to try to fight for that 5th place position on the inside of Jason Brewer. Not going to be able to do it. Jason closes the door. That 29 machine falls in line. We have 3 wide back there for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Or, no, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Greathouse gets past the 29 of Bill Hull. Bill Hull is on the inside of 3 wide. Greathouse able to go around. It is now Sebastian Taylor on the inside of Hull.
Yeah, what a fight here for these guys. Knowing, oh, a little bit squirrely is, I believe that's Robert Colgan. He's going to be hemorrhaging positions here. Man, who was that? David Elliott, possibly?
That was the 20 of Jeremy Knapp that actually spun just a tad bit off of the exit turn 4 and around the entrance of pit road.
There we go. As Dennis Weeks and Alex Brown fighting each other here. We saw a little bit of contact, but they were able to keep that rolling in second as Dennis Weeks and Alex Brown trying to catch Raul Alves as that plateau is going to hit here pretty shortly, but back that battle's still raging. Matt Greathouse and Sebastian Taylor able to come up and make big there. Sebastian's on one of those that pitted at lap 88, so keep an eye on the 27 Sebastian Taylor and the timing tower there on the left side of your screen because he is going to be moving. Himself and Robert Colgan in the 94 car have the freshest tires on the field, followed by Jeremy Knapp, Ed Morris, and Rob Rogers, unable to do anything with them for now. But we still got a lot of laps here left to go as the gap is closing between second and first.
Yeah, we noticed earlier how Raul was able to pull out very, very short runs, but when it came to the long run, he was on the short end of the stick there, and he's trying different lanes right here, high entry and a low exit, mixing it up just a little bit from what he did earlier, but tire wear was a huge factor for him earlier in this race, and Dennis Weeks was able to sort of pick up on that, and we're going to see if he can do that once again.
Yeah, as I was talking earlier about the benefit of staying clean, keeping those incident points down. Were you able to do your homework on the bonus points that this league gives out for all the different things that they have?
I was, but I actually just closed the window a while ago, so if you'll give me about another lap, I will read it off to you.
There we go. I'll go into save mode as we got Jason Brewer back here with a line of cars behind him. All these guys figuring out it's kind of better to work together with 40 to go rather than try and fight each other. But Dennis Weeks and Alex Brown almost not getting the memo. These guys really fighting each other for second position. As now TJ DeBlasi has made his way into the mix And Sebastian Taylor on those fresh tires behind him, it says, yeah, guys, use them up. I'm coming with the fresher tires.
Yeah, and here's our bonus points here. Drivers get 1 bonus point for qualifying in the top 12, 1 bonus point for leading the most laps, and 2 bonus points for a 0x. As well as playoff bonus points will be awarded 2 points to the race winner and 1 point for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. And there is some penalty points as well, as we mentioned that earlier in the season. James, if you're found at fault, you can lose a point for every 6 incidents, or there is a 3 penalty points that will go to the driver for their first at fault, and then a driver will be parked after their second at fault. So there's bonus points and penalty points in this league.
Yeah, and I love that rule for at-fault drivers, and I say that coming from a position where I have been that guy. So I'm not hating on anybody, but I love that. You know, if you're having trouble, you're causing accidents, these guys don't want these races to go on and caution fest. So I like the rule. It really tells these guys, hey, drive clean, get in there and take your laps. Otherwise, you're not going to get points. So very important for them. As I'm going to go back to 11th. Jeremy Knapp making a position on Justin Teets there. Justin Teets, I'm sorry. Another one of those with fresh tires, able to come down low and make that position. Check the replay on that.
Yeah, into turn 1 he went on the inside, James.
Just a very easy pass that we're seeing on those fresher tires as Robert Colgan, the next one in line to do it, on the 51 of Matt Greathouse.
Bill Holt to the inside of the 51 of Greathouse into turn 1 on that low line. Greathouse going to give it to him on entry, but is he going to tag his quarter panel on exit? He's not. He's going to let off just a little bit, fall in line within inches of his bumper. Out of turn 2, they fall in line. Now we pick up this battle for second place, Dennis Weeks and Alex Brown.
Yeah, we called a battle, but these guys have just been getting closer and closer and then accordioning back out as they know that they are going to have to work together, or otherwise Raul Alves is going to take it away. Every time they get close and disrupt that car in front of them, we see a little bit of a issue there. As these ARCA cars, if you're familiar with the NASCAR cars and the aerodynamics that they have, those massive spoilers on the super speedway and then the very low downforce in these short tracks, these guys don't really have that issue. These ARCA cars don't change much from package to package, so you don't want to get so close to the guy in front of you that you take air off of that spoiler, or else you're going to alter the handling of that race car, and it's really going to hurt them there. So these guys are taking notes. Hey, we need to get a little bit of space so we can all kind of get to the same level as Raul, because he's got fresh, clean air and a clean track ahead of him. He doesn't have to worry about it running very much consistently faster times on those tires that are a little bit older than Alex Brown's.
You just took the words out of my mouth there. Raul does have clean air, so his car is able to turn way sharper on the entries and exits. His car is able to control itself better. Whereas if you're in this dirty air, it's going to act like basically a snow shovel. In the corner, you're going to plow up towards the wall, which is not really effective here on short tracks as much as it is on 1.5 miles. But still kind of in play, dirty air versus clean air. As we see, Raul was able to keep it straight out of turn 4. TJ DeBlasi looked like he spun and hit the end of pit road, James. Can we confirm or deny that he hit the concrete barrier at the end of pit road?
Yes, that is going to be our third caution of the night. TJ DeBlasi, you said? Let's take a look.
That is correct.
Oh, man. TJ DeBlasi just slobbering those that sand barrels. Kind of lucky on his end as he's able to get that thing rolling again. Let's go on board here. See kind of what happened is he just loses it on his own, it looks like, coming out of turn 4. Oh, hard contact, but in a real place where you're going to be okay. Hopefully it didn't alter the dimensions of that car or the speeding. I'm sorry, not the speeding. darn tire. There we go. Hopefully it didn't mess with the alignment on the vehicles. We got a lot of cars coming down pit road. Raul Alves leads the charge. Dennis Weeks, everybody pretty much from third on coming down pit road to get fresher tires. That is bad news bears if you're Sebastian Taylor or Rob Rogers. You now have a hornet's nest behind you coming in on fresh tires, as Raul has shown that he has that short run speed to make something happen, as this is going to be an interesting restart, Tanner.
Yeah, their tires are only about 20 laps older than these cars that just went and pitted on lap 108. But what we need to take note of is not all 20 of those were green flag laps. So it'll even out a little bit more than what it would if they were all green flag laps. But James, one thing I want to point out is they have track position, something that's hard to come by here. But the question is, did they already smoke their tires? And Rob Rogers was a lap down at one point. He was actually fighting for about 18th, 17th position. So for him to be up in second right now, we'll see if that pays off.
Yeah, definitely. As this thing is ticking away and time is running out. If you're somebody like Jason Brewer, Bill Hull, or especially Robert Colgan, who has started at the bottom, worked their way through the field multiple times, you got to think that, hey, it's time to go. It's time to take some risks, get out behind somebody, and you courtesy's going out the window, Tanner.
Yeah, courtesy out the window, respect still sort of there. You're not going to give a bumper or give them a lane now. You're going to close that gap, but I mean, there's still going to be no intentional dumping as far as I'm aware with these cars here. Very, very friendly drivers, but as you said, courtesy out the window.
Yeah, and we've talked about it every single week. It seems that the way these cars are shaped. You can't be doing the old chrome horn as much as you would be able to in the square nose modern cars. So if you are going to push somebody into a turn to get them a little upset, you really have to be careful, because as you said earlier, if you cause a caution, no matter if you're in second or 19th, you're going to the end of the line if race control deems you at fault. As pace car is going to come in here, Sebastian Taylor going to take the high line here with Rob Rogers on the inside. Interesting move as Dennis Weeks, freshest tires, is down on the bottom lane. We're going to see how it goes here. Oh, they got to get lined up. Super bad start from the bottom of Rob Rogers as he was unable to get that thing going. He's falling back like a rock between the two cars of Jason Brewer and Raul Alves.
Yeah,
Wow.
center in there. Rocket ship, may I say. NASA just got a report of that 50 on track here at Milwaukee Mile. Sebastian Taylor on the outside of Dennis Weeks. Dennis Weeks all the way to the inside here. Raul is on the quarter panel of Sebastian Taylor. Raul shot out of a cannon right now, man. I tell you, he's on fire. He has now passed the third position of Sebastian Taylor. He's hunting down that 97. He just got fresh tires as well as that 97 did. So they're hunting down that lead here. Yeah,
what a difference. You know, you said the tires, it seemed like a big wreck. Bill Hull. The 97, 51, I'm sorry, the 51 and the 29, Matt Greathouse involved, Robert Colgan involved. You know, we said it earlier, tempers are going to be flaring here. The more cautions that come out, the more restless these guys are going to be. Let's take a look at Robert Colgan on the replay. See kind of what happened there as he gets in with it with the 29. We missed it by just that much. As that was on exit. Seems like the 29 was upset coming out on exit. The car was upset, I'm sorry. And then the slow speed coming into the 94 and just that touch is going to send him. And then the 29, I'm sorry, who was that? This is a 20 car I saw.
The 20 is Jeremy Knapp.
Yeah, Jeremy Knapp really putting the flourish on it, sending the 97 around, or the 94. And then afterwards, was that... I'll find it here eventually.
Yes, James, as we're waiting on a report of the at-fault car and the penalty, who gets the EOL. As the fourth caution of the race here, James, I'll announce it as soon as it's posted, but we're taking a look at that Ed Morris machine. Looks better than what she looked like earlier after it came in contact with the wall.
Yeah, no takers for pit road as of yet up front. You got to think Sebastian Taylor has seen that, as well as Rob Rogers, who very unfortunately fell back on that restart. Let's take a look at that restart and Rob Rogers in the car. Oh, a bad shift. That was a bad shift, and then getting a little bit loose coming into the turn. And then just falling like a rock through the field. One more look from the blimp on that green flag restart by the 68.
Yeah, Sebastian Taylor and Dennis Weeks were able to capitalize and clear themselves of the 68, and then he just kept falling and falling and falling backwards. As we see, Robert Colgan was ultimately able to pass him, and that led to a wreck about a lap later.
Yeah, that group together, this is what we're going to see as we fast forward a lap there. Yep, this is the incident. Gets loose, and that was deemed a racing incident. So these guys, nobody going to get penalized for that one. As it looks like Bill Hall just got a little sideways there, as we are going to be coming back here pretty shortly because these guys up front didn't pit.
Yeah, pace car lights are off, so we're 1 to green here with 25 to go. It'll be 24 to go whenever that green flag waves. Dennis Weeks is your leader. Raul Alvis in second. Jason Brewer rounding out your podium as of currently with 25 to go.
Yeah, as we're going to see if Dennis Weeks can get as good of a start as Sebastian Taylor did on that outside. He's going to take the inside here. As he's going to try and get that jump on Raul Alvis. As I'm going to let you call this one, Tanner.
Alrighty, we're going to watch our pace car in just a moment off the exit of turn 4, dive on the pit road, and the 97 will be in control of this restart here. 95 to go, pace car dives to pit road as I speak. Down he goes, and green flag is out. 97, Dennis Weeks gets a tremendous start. What a start. I was blocking the 34 of Jason Brewer. Sebastian Taylor falls victim to being on the outside line there, falls back one position. Dennis Weeks pulling out there, Raul Alvis blocking the 34 still. Alex Brown looking to the inside of the 34. Raul Alvis gets loose, into the wall he goes. Raul Alvis wrecks the 8 of Chaston Teets. That looked like equipment failure, James. I don't know what to describe that. I'm speechless.
Yeah, that was wild as Raul Alvis started that. He's going to take her to the pits. Shoot, let's take DJ DeBlasi, Bill Hull, Jeremy Knott, Brian Wasserman, Corey Danielson involved, Chaston Teets. It's man, it's heating up. As the caution didn't even come out for Raul. That's exactly what that looked like. Just a hard right turn into the wall.
Hey, can we get a cockpit view of that just to see if maybe he downshifted possibly? I mean, I don't really know what would cause that, but as we're going into... Oh, we're going to have to back up here just a second. Alrighty, so he's coming in hot. He gets, James?
I don't know. I'm thinking he tried to save a little bit of something, but there was also another incident we're going to take an eye on. a little bit
It looked like
closer
it
to
was
Bill
within
Hall.
the 8th of Chaston Teats, possibly. He was sideways.
Because we are just not having any luck catching this stuff. As once Raul goes in, that causes the
The
8
20
of Chasten T, or I'm sorry, 27 of Sebastian Taylor to come down. And Jeremy Knapp catches him.
Yeah, the 27 was on top of practically 3 wide. He saw Raul wrecking up top, went down low, and the 20 of Jeremy Knapp was there, and so was the 8 of Chaston Teats, and then we saw a domino effect there, basically a parking lot in the middle of 3 and 4. And just a little bit of awareness there, Sebastian Taylor trying to get down the track with no room to go. Raul Alves, just the appearance of him wrecking kind of caused that there, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it looks like everybody saw that and was like, hey, maybe there's some oil on the track or something. We need to get it slowed down. But let's take a look at the cockpit view of Robert Colgan getting through this incident. As that is a Code Brown if I've ever seen one. Fantastic wheeling there by Robert Colgan. As we're going to go back live, Dennis Weeks has the button on the 5th caution of the night with 20 laps to go. They're going to line them up and get them going, Tanner.
Yeah, pace car lights are off as we're in the middle of turns 1 and 2. We'll have 19 to go whenever we go green here, James. I'll hand it off to you once we get in 3 and 4. But I want to point out our hardest charger is Ed Morris Sr., the 14 machine, up in 6th place, up 12 positions from where he started. Started in 18th, in 6th place. Let's see if he can get a top 5 or maybe even a podium here, James. I'll let you take it away.
There we go. I like to see it. Edmore Sr. getting out there and making something happen in that 14 Chevrolet as the pace car is going to dip down right before the green flag. Dennis Weeks has the button in that Autism Speaks 97 with Jason Brewer on his outside. Jumps have been the tail of the tape so far as we're going to see if he can get a good one. Here we go. Pace car is out. Green flag is out. Dennis Weeks able to get a really good jump on the 34. That's going to bring up Alex Brown as well to the inside. As it is a gaggle here. He's going to make the pass. Back in the back, Rob Rogers on those old tires holding up Ed Morris Sr. and Robert Colgan. We'll see if Robert Colgan's luck can hold off here as he's got a couple guys behind him that really want a piece of that Chevrolet. As we're coming to 19 to go here. Up front, Jason Brewer and Alex Brown still battling it out.
And David Elliott watching that battle unfold as Alex Brown will almost clear himself into turn 1. Alex Brown trying to be the next suspect of taking that position away from Jason Brewer. Not going to be able to do so. Alex Brown hunting down Dennis Weeks here into turn 3. About 3/4 of a second away from Weeks.
As we're going to see, he's got a rear view mirror full of Brewer, but we've seen him be fast all race in Alex Brown as he started in the pole. So we know he has speed. Tires are even. Everything is even for these guys. Coming with 17 to go. David Elliott there with the most to gain in 4th as Robert Colgan is able to make it past Ed Morris. And farther back, a little battle developing here between Bill Hull and Rob Rogers as Rob is falling back on those old tires and unable to do anything as we do have some more developments. Robert Colgan came in at 113, so not too many fresh tires, about 5 laps, but something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Sebastian Taylor and Bill Hull came in at 118, which was the last caution. And they're all the way up in 8th and 9th position. So we'll see there about, 10 laps or so on our leaders?
Definitely, as we're seeing up front. Oh, no! That was Jason Brewer getting squirrely there off of turn 4. He's going to give the 3rd position up to David Elliott. But that fresh air for Dennis Weeks, able to get him about a second out ahead of Alex Brown. That's going to be huge. As we're going to see if Jason can recover here. He's out on his lonesome. He's got about a second between himself and the 5th place car of Robert Colgan, but Robert Colgan has a rearview mirror full of Ed Morris. And Matt Greathouse and Sebastian Taylor. It's like deja vu from the beginning of the race. These guys all separating out into onesies and twosies and just going after each other.
Yeah, bumper to bumper, 2-car patterns here. The 27 attacking the 51 as they just caught the 7 of Ed Morris and 94 of Robert Colgan. This is a 4-car battle here, very, very close, but they are single file right now. Sebastian Taylor trying to go to the inside of Matthew Greathouse as Bill Hull almost gets into the back, overdrives the corner in 3 and 4. TJ DeBlasi will go on the inside there out of turn 4.
Yeah, I think Sebastian Taylor got a little bit off pace there, and Bill Hull was not expecting it. So he hit the e-brake and went to the outside to avoid an incident, as I don't think he hasn't been called for one yet, but you don't want to go to the end of the field here, as now the closest is Robert Colgan and Ed Morris for 5th, as Robert's able to make the move, now trying to hone in on the leaders, as Sebastian Taylor makes the pass on the 51 of Matt Greathouse for now, but he wasn't clear. He's going to have to stay down there and waste some more tire. Oh, there he goes. He gets up there. Oh, that was close. As David Elliott now trying to take his position back, or Jason Brewer, I'm sorry, trying to take his position back from David Elliott after his little bit of squirrely incident. Getting a little bit of loose as the, man, what a, whew, all over the field. Hard to keep my eyes on the battle when it's everywhere.
Yeah, Alex Brown was about a 10th quicker than Dennis Weeks there on that last time by. We'll see what he was this time. It's a live update. He was still about a 10th quicker. So Alex Brown consistently running down Dennis Weeks, but I don't think he's going to have enough time, as we've got 11 to go here, James. And we've got a 4-way battle from about 2 seconds apart from each other, a 4-car battle. And back there in 6th place, Ed Morris is under attack. Or actually attacking the 94 of Robert Colgan. A battle here for 6th position.
Yeah, there we go. It is quite the battle here. As will remind you guys on YouTube, I do see your comments. Let's go House. And TKFTRD. I'm not going to read that out loud, but yeah, we appreciate your help, guys. Keep them coming. Keep those comments coming. Go Alex Brown, says D-Dub Button Boxes, as Alex is he's making it happen here. Got him within, it was a second, and now he's got it back into half a second there, as he has the advantage on clean air now because of the issue with Jason Brewer that he had. But look at Ed Morris. Sebastian Taylor. That was Matt Greathouse getting passed by Ed Morris, as he is on a... Sebastian Taylor passing Ed Morris. There we go. I'll get it eventually, can't I? As he's pushing through the field still.
Yeah, no harm, no foul there, James. Sebastian Taylor is back where he started, but we're looking at David Elliott up 5 positions from where he started. 3rd place, Jason Brewer chasing him down here for 3rd position. Jason Brewer approximately about 3 seconds away from our leader, Dennis Weeks. Alex Brown leveled out here. He is not catching Weeks, or he's semi-falling back about 2/10 there.
Yeah, we're seeing the lap times with 8 to go. If it was a snake, it would have bit me, creeping up on these final laps, as everybody is pretty well leveled out to where they're going to be battling here, as we haven't seen much movement in the short runs. But Matt Greathouse trying to take advantage of Ed Morris here, as Ed has kind of fallen back on his lap times. But yeah, up front, Dennis Weeks really, Alex Brown maybe pushing a little bit too hard to get to him there. He's hurting right now on these old tires.
Yeah, old rubber getting to him, but Alex Brown last put it on 107, and so did Weeks, and so did Elliott, and so did Brewer. So your top 4 there unfazed by this tire wear. They're able to go out on raw speed instead of strategy.
Yeah, the advantage really to Dennis Weeks, because he has been able to start up front the last couple times, so didn't really have to battle for anybody, whereas Alex Brown had to work that inside for a couple laps at least on Jason Brewer. It's amazing how much thought goes into how much you can use here. Is every little bit. This is a fixed setup lead, correct?
That is correct. Fixed setup.
So everything coming down to how you can drive these cars, and it is, yeah, boy, coming down to the wires. Jason Brewer still trying to get his position back for third place on David Elliott. David not letting anything by him so far. With 5 to go, Dennis Weeks, your leader. Alex Brown behind him. David Elliott in third. Jason Brewer in fourth. And Robert Colgan in fifth, trying to make up some time. Sebastian Taylor not happy with 6. He's trying to crack a top 5 on Robert Colgan.
Yeah, crap in the top 10 here. 4 to go. 4 to go. Look at it. Sebastian Taylor in 6. Trying to the inside of the 94. He went. He just dove it in. Not able to make it stick. Onto the apron. 94 passes him there.
We never promised to be mature about this, guys. We try our best, but hey, it happens here. So Robert Colgan really battling with Sebastian Taylor. He's not giving up this top 5. Not with 4 to go. You want to get as many points as you can. Here is David Elliott, same position. Chasten Teets a little bit closer there, rounding out your top 10. As Bill Hull coming back from a lot of adversity. A lot of these guys racing on broke cars. As here we go, 3 to go. Biggest battle, Robert Colgan and Sebastian Taylor. We're going to take a look on the hood of Sebastian and watch this battle for a lap or so while everything gets itself sorted out in that prime time motorsports Chevy. We're going to see how nice is he going to be here on with the popsicle sticks in the air. 2 to go.
And he's able to send it in on exit on the apron, but then he washes up once he touches the apron. He's able to stay on the quarter panel, but not able to keep enough momentum to pass. As I would say Colgan has the advantage here in this battle, but Elliott in third, Brewer battling him here for that third position. As we're coming to 1 to go, white flag is in the air, James. David Elliott into the wall.
As we talked about earlier, getting that stripe not hurting as much as he thought it would. He's able to come down and block Jason Brewer, but back to our leader, Dennis Weeks, on cruise control. Just got to make it through clean here on Alex. As Sebastian Taylor trying to make the pass. Last lap pass for 5th on Robert Colgan. He's on the inside. We're going to see what happens here coming into 3 and 4. He's going to chop the nose off. Dennis Weeks taking the checkered flag. Alex Brown not too far behind him. David Elliott in third. Jason Brewer coming across in 4th. And Robert Colgan able to hold off Sebastian Taylor one more lap, and that race would have been over. As Ed Morris, Matt Greathouse, Bill Hull, and Chasten Teets round out your top 10 in what was a banger, folks. As
Dennis Weeks is your first 2-time winner of the season.
There we go, and that means a lot for bonus points in the playoffs. As Alex Brown, David Elliott, nothing for him there at the end. He's going to burn it down here. Well deserved.
As James, if you want to go ahead and do what you do while I go get everybody up, you go right on ahead.
What we're going to do, we're going to get the drone out, the Sim Racing Media drone on the 97. Autism Speaks of Dennis Weeks. Let's go. Burn it down at the Milwaukee Mile. Giving everybody a show on that front stretch. Well earned 2-time, the first in the series at the oldest track that NASCAR races on here. Almost to its centennial year. He's going to blow that motor trying to make this thing a show for you guys. Taking the victory lap.
Alrighty, James, they're all lined up. You let me know what you're going to do as we're looking at this victory lap as I just heard you when I tuned in.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and get these guys in here and get the interviews rolling. We've got
David Elliott will be first. He is in your third place position. He is all yours now, James.
David Elliott. Man, congratulations on the third place finish, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Got lucky there on the last restart there on the caution. Got some good track position. kind of saved my tires and kind of got lucky there and just kind of held my own.
There you go. And you had to hold it against a driver who was on your tail since the start of the race, Jason Brewer. Tell us about that, getting clear of Jason and then hold him off to get the podium here.
Yeah, he kind of made a mistake there and overdrove the corner, and I got around him. Once I got around him, I just kind of made sure I hit my marks and not overdrove the corner. I seen him back there making a charge. I was hoping he wasn't going to get into me there, but luckily he didn't, and we were able to kind of hold him off. And I didn't have anything for the top two guys. They were really, really fast. This is only maybe my third time running this track, so it was just a decent run all around for the primetime guys, and had fun here in the Xtreme Motorsports 99.com. Maestro's Beard Products race. It was fun.
Definitely. And so David, able to get that third place finish, help you out in points. How important was track position? As it turned out, we saw you try and split this thing into 2 turns and two pit road. Man, I can't talk right now. 2 pit strategy race, and didn't quite work out for you with the yellows. How frustrating was that?
Yeah, it was kind of frustrating, but I mean, in the end, it worked out. Luckily, I was able to kind of stay on the lead lap with that strategy and didn't stay behind. And but yeah, track position was key, and I was hoping to get lucky tonight, and I did. I got lucky. The way the yellows fell, it really just kind of all got lucky.
Yeah, definitely. Well, tell us who you got on that 42 primetime machine, and who you want to shout out and thank.
Yeah, shout out and thank Primetime Motorsports, Xtreme99.com, you guys at the eSports broadcast network here, Maestro's Beard Products, and everybody here at Xtreme. It's been a fun season so far.
Definitely. It's definitely been a fun one for you, sir, and congratulations again, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alrighty, that was your third place finisher of David Elliott. Here's your second place finisher coming in hot.
Alex, man, a second place finish. How's it feel, and did you have anything for Dennis after that last restart?
I definitely had something for him. Honestly, I felt the restart went okay. What got me was, I don't know if it was the second or third lap after, I got a little loose coming off of 2 there. And Jason, having a good run there, tried to ship it into 3 and caught me off guard. And I went up to not get taken out. And at that point, then I pushed hard. I got ripe to DJ there, and restart went well. The rest of it maybe could have been executed a little bit better.
Definitely. But, I mean, hey, second place, not bad at all. I know I'll talk to you almost every week. So having a really good run in that 67. You started on the pole. You led a vast majority of the laps there in that first run. Tell us about the cautions and tell us about how hard it was to try and get track position here.
Yeah, I mean, that caution there that came out in the middle of the second little stint there that we all had kind of threw everything for a loop. I don't know what my strategy was tonight. You know, I've been very lucky in the past to have a crew chief with me calling some strategy, and this year, you know, I'm in here in the car all by myself, and you know, I felt like I was getting the strategy together. Jay, I understand, actually could have made it on just the one stop. And I kind of felt that when he pitted on lap 72. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not too far behind him. If I pitted a little bit earlier on the second green flag pit stop, had we had gotten there, I thought if I pitted earlier, I could make up that time and we could see what happens. But I don't know, man. I'm so happy to be talking to you guys. I'm so happy, you know, the way the league's going this year, but it does not feel as good to finish second tonight.
Definitely. But we saw a couple other guys had to take it to the hauler. You were able to stay in front of most of the issues, so that field position really helping you out throughout there. So who you got on the car? Who you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, as always, sponsor D-Dub Button Boxes. That's D-E-E-D-E-D-U. Let me start that over. D-E-E-D-U-B. They sell button boxes. You can look them up. Book Dennis Warren's can make you up a custom little button box there. Cool things like you're coming up to the 24-hour race at Daytona coming up in a couple months. My team's already talking about that, and you need to maybe have something that you can maps or get your brake bias set on a dial. He's got all that stuff. It's really, really cool. Great guy. And, he's Canadian. I'm Canadian, so I'm going to support him. GT Motorsports, our team, always got to thank them. Scott came into the room tonight, happy that teammate DJ won. A little heartbroken, though, that Jeremy Knapp, having such a good run in sixth tonight, got taken out in one of those late cautions there. Felt a little bad for him. Got to thank Maestro's Classic for coming on board in the ARCA series, supporting us. I got to thank you guys. Got to thank the admins. We always forget to thank those guys because sometimes they got to really make some bad calls. Oh, there's a Freudian slip there. But they got to make some tough calls. But we love. I think it was Michael and Brendan always in the booth there. But I do appreciate the tough job that they have to do.
Definitely, sir. And yeah, just calling out the Canadians. Good for the Canadians, therefore good for the world, sir. As I again congratulate you on your second place finish, able to bring that thing home. Again, talk to you about every week. I think, man. Always a bridesmaid. Have you got your win this season? Sorry, I can't recall.
No.
You're getting there.
No. I wanted to be I wanted to be the fifth winner tonight. I didn't win. Listen, it still feels good to be up front running with these guys. It's a lot of confidence. I'm learning a lot. Let's just apply it and get that victory going forward.
Definitely, sir. Well, again, congratulations, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week, sir.
Thank you. You're doing a bang-up job, guys.
Appreciate it. That was Alex Brown. Next, we got Dennis Weeks in here. And Tanner, I believe you have our race winner, Dennis Weeks.
Alrighty, Dennis. This is Tanner Now and James Rouse with ESPN in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So, second time this year that you're able to pull it off. Victory lane. You gave us an old-fashioned backwards victory lap. This is your second win at a mile or less. You won at Richmond on a last lap pass, and here you dominated the last quarter of the race. So, Dennis, I want to know what's going through your mind whenever we had a long green flag run, one pit cycle went through, and then we had that first caution, and then we wound up having another 4 or so cautions more. What was your strategy? Did it change a lot from the green flag to the yellow flags?
Oh yeah, 100%. So I actually went 72 laps that first run. Like I went from the start, backed it down, and I was gonna make it a one-stop race, and everybody was pitting way early. So I was like, this might work out for me because the pace doesn't really fall off that bad here. And then obviously the cautions come out. Then it's it's a dash to the end. I think it was like 20 laps there at the end. So it's just full send every corner and hope it sticks, and the best man win at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And you were able to save a little bit of tire there for the end. And you had enough to do burnouts. Was your car the fastest at the end, or did you just have the best strategy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It came to me after about 10 laps on that run. Like it was tight going into 3, and then I backed the corner up a little bit, and then after that it was hooked up, and I knew Alex would have to do yeoman's work to kind of catch me at that point. And yeah, I like long runs, man. Long runs are my thing, and if I can get them every race, I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah, you've had, I want to say, almost a top 5 finish for every time you've touched the track this year. Let me check. Yeah, that is correct.
Except for Daytona. Daytona, I messed up on pit road leading, so that's a plate track. That don't count though, right?
There you go. Hey, you're dominant here at these mile and less. West Richmond 0.7 mile, and we have Milwaukee as a 1 mile. So any short tracks, we'll look out for Dennis Weeks. James, I'll let you add on before we get to sponsors and shout outs. Alrighty, we're gonna skip out on James there.
I was muted.
So,
I'm back now. We're good to go.
all right, 10-4.
Dennis.
So James
Hey.
is back.
Yeah, take two. Hey, Dennis, you were able to kind of get out of the hole that the yellow flag put you in, trying to make it into a two-stopper. Tell us about that. You were the second car that happened to, and how you were able to come back.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to do a one stopper, so it was even more crazy. I actually cycled to the front there. I got in front of Alex, and I think that was the win. Like, once I got in front of him, because he's so similar to Pace, and we work so well together with the same type of line. Whoever gets in front of each other is typically going to be hard to pass. And when I got in front of him, I was like, all right, now I just got to focus on the 50. And I think he got a lane change problem on one of the restarts. And I was like, all right, now the race is with the 67, and just held on from there.
Definitely. So I believe we are taking a break next week, but then we're coming back November 29th at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. How you feeling about Vegas?
Oh, I love Vegas. It's fast, and this car it's really fast. So I think they're a little bit faster than the trucks overall, but it's a fast 1.5 mile track, man. It's just like Texas, it's just whoever can save that little bit of tire and keep it straight, and you'll be having a good run.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on the win, brother, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week, sir.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty, James, that was our race winner. Very, very familiar with the top 3 interviews. That number 97 Autism Machine. I forgot to ask him to shout that out, but
yeah,
hey,
let's go
I'll
ahead and
do
bring
it for him.
Let's go ahead and bring back in Dennis Weeks, because we forgot to get you the shout out, and we know that we want to hear that autism awareness shout out that you give us every week.
Yeah, first and foremost, thanks to everyone at Xtreme who puts this on. You guys are coming on a broadcast, and Maestro's for sponsoring this series. Everybody at GTM, my engine is blue. Everybody at Outlaw Racing who helps me get this thing going. And as always, Autism Speaks. My son has autism, so just winning in this car means a lot to me. His name's always on the door, so just hope I can make him proud.
Definitely. All right. Well, we'll let you go for real this time, and I'm sure we're going to have plenty of opportunities throughout the season as it stands to bring you in and do it justice.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
There we go. Take 2 on the finish as well, Tanner. There we go. As we are going to be wrapping it up here, Tanner, if you want to go ahead and run us through the results.
Alrighty, if you'll throw them up there real fast. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I want to thank you all for coming out to watch this Maestro's Classic ARCA Series presented by Xtreme Motorsports. James, I will take it away here. Dennis Weeks coming in first place in that number 97 machine. Second place, Alex Brown in the 67. David Elliott rounding out your podium in the 42. The 34 of Jason Brewer in 4th place. 5th place, Robert Colgan. 6th, Sebastian Taylor. 7th place, Mr. Ed Morris himself. 8th, fan favorite of the night, Matthew Greathouse. Bill Hull in 9th. Chaston Teets in 10th.
And we got 11th, Rob Rogers. Unfortunate there that he wasn't able to make it work on those old tires. And Ed Morris Sr. in 12th. TJ DeBlasi in 13th. 14th is going to be Corey Danielson. And then we get into the unfortunates. Jeremy Knapp unable to finish. Couple laps down there. Brian Wasserman in 16th. Raul Alves in 17th. 18th is going to be Kevin Franks. And 19th is going to be Justin Limke. So, Tanner, any final notes on the race heading into an off week, a bye week for us, so to speak?
Yeah, one thing I want to point out is we know who's dominant on the short tracks. We're still yet to find out who's dominant on the 1.5 miles. So tune in to Las Vegas the week after next. So 2 weeks next, the 29th, you said, is that correct?
Correct.
At Las Vegas, everybody. That's all I got.
All right. So, folks, like we said, catch us on November 29th. If you want to catch some good racing with the Xtreme guys, if you can't wait that long, you can catch us tomorrow in the truck series here in the same time, same place at Esports Broadcasting Network for ESPN and Sim Racing Media. I am James Riles. Tanner now has been with me in the booth in the Maestro's Classic ARCA series. And as always, hopefully, we will talk to you next week.